The movie starts with a treasure hunter named Nate hanging from cargo boxes dangling from a plane. He fights off bad guys, climbs back inside, but a red car pushes him out again. Just as he's about to fall, someone grabs his hand and saves him. This reminds Nate of something similar that happened when he was a boy. 15 years earlier, young Nate and his older brother Sam sneaked into a museum in Boston looking for a treasure map. Nate almost fell out of a window, but Sam saved him. The brothers, who were orphans, hoped the map would lead them to gold. But Sam set off an alarm, and they were caught. Sam had been in trouble before, so he was sent to prison while Nate stayed at the orphanage. Before leaving, Sam gave Nate his ring and promised to come back for him. After Sam escaped, Nate found a hidden message from Sam in a blank paper using a lighter Sam left behind. Now grown up, Nate works as a bartender in New York. He's also a pickpocket, using tricks like lighting someone's cigarette to steal their jewelry. He still carries Sam's lighter, though it barely works anymore. One night, a man named Sully shows up at the bar, impressed by Nate's skills. Sully invites him to join a treasure hunt, but Nate refuses and throws him out. Sully secretly takes Nate's stolen bracelet and leaves his card. Angry, Nate visits Sully's place to get it back. Sully surprises him with a map from the Melan expedition, explaining it's connected to a family called Moncada who are still searching for treasure. To persuade Nate to join him, Sully reveals he was a friend of Sam's and shows Nate a picture of them together. He explains Sam disappeared after finding Melan's journal, and he hasn't heard from him since. Nate confirms Sam hasn't contacted him either, but remains skeptical, refusing the offer. Back at his apartment, Nate opens a box of keepsakes, including postcards from Sam. In truth, Sam had sent messages over the years. Seeing these, Nate changes his mind and agrees to Sully's plan. The first step is to steal a cross at an upcoming auction, which acts as a key to a chamber containing the gold. Sully already has the other key. After negotiating a 50-50 split, Nate studies the auction venue and devises a plan. On auction night, they spot a red car and realize Santiago Moncada is also there. Santiago, believing the gold is his birthright, has brought Joey, a mercenary leader and Sully's ex-partner. Sully pretends to be a bidder while Nate prepares to disable the lights. Joey notices Nate and sends her men to follow him. Nate is caught by Joey's men, leading to a fight. He escapes and causes a distraction by swinging on ceiling lamps, creating chaos. As security moves in, Sully disguises himself as an employee and grabs the cross. Joey corners Sully and threatens him with a knife, but security interrupts, allowing Sully to escape with the cross. When Sully reaches his car, Nate is waiting. They agree to travel to Spain together. On the plane, they examine the captain's journal, confirming the Melan expedition found gold in the Philippines and hid it in Barcelona. The main clue is a tree. In Barcelona, they meet Chloe, another treasure hunter who possesses the second cross. However, Chloe distrusts Sully, calling him a liar and backstabber. After Chloe leaves, Nate discovers she has taken their cross and chases her through the streets of Barcelona. Chloe is faster and makes it to her car, ready to escape. However, Nate and Sully convince her to stay by pointing out that although she has the crosses, they have the journal and are the only ones who know where to go next. Reluctantly, Chloe agrees and they decide to work together. Nate leads them to the location hinted at in the clues. It's not a literal tree, but a church with pine in its name, and a tree as its logo. Meanwhile, Santiago confronts his father Armando, who has announced on the news that he plans to give away the family fortune. Armando confesses that their wealth was built on blood money, but Santiago cannot convince him to change his mind. Frustrated, Santiago orders Joey to keep an eye on Sully, who has been spotted in the city. Back with the team, they take a break before proceeding with their plan. While Nate is in the kitchen, Chloe guesses that Nate is Sam's brother and demands that Sully tell him the truth about what happened. Sully dismisses her, saying he'll reveal everything when the time is right. The next day, Santiago makes another attempt to change his father's mind, but when Armando remains firm, Santiago follows him to his car and orders Joey to kill him. When night falls, the team enters the church pretending to be tourists. Nate notices that the postcards sold there match one that Sam had sent him. Following symbols and carvings on the walls and floor, they discover a hidden button. Nate presses it, revealing a secret painting of hell behind a statue of Mary. When they turn the painting around, it uncovers keyholes for the crosses. Nate and Chloe use the keys, first turning them clockwise. This triggers a trap, releasing darts that nearly kill them. They dodge just in time and try turning the keys counterclockwise, which opens a hidden tunnel. According to the journal, one person must stay in heaven while the others go down in hell. Nate and Chloe take one of the crosses and enter the tunnel, while Sully remains above with the other. To keep Sully updated on their location, Nate places a tracker on his phone, allowing Sully to follow their movements. However, Joey is also following Sully. Nate and Chloe follow the tunnel, which leads to a nightclub. Joey's men are there too. Pretending to be a couple, Nate and Chloe dance across the room to the bar, where Nate tries to start a fire using Sam's lighter. When it fails, Chloe lights it for him, creating the distraction they need to solve a puzzle carved into the wall behind the bar. Joey's men find them, leading to a fight. While Nate fends them off, Chloe locates another keyhole and uses the cross to unlock a new secret tunnel. The pair escapes just before the tunnel seals behind them, leaving Joey's men behind. The tunnel leads to a secret door under a fountain. Using the key, they open the door, but the room begins to flood. Sully, needing to use the other keyhole above ground, struggles to break through a thick protective glass. Joey appears and tries to steal the cross, leading to a fight. Sully initially struggles but manages to overpower Joey, smashing her against the glass to break it. He uses the cross to unlock the door, allowing Nate and Chloe to escape. As Nate emerges, he notices Chloe is still underwater, unconscious. He dives back to save her. Once they're both safe, Chloe is surprised that Nate helped her instead of betraying her. The unlocked door leads to a Roman antechamber. Nate lights a torch using Sam's lighter, though it takes several attempts. This chamber is underground, and Sully watches them through a drainage grate in the street above. Sully notices a carved symbol indicating both keys must be used together to open the next door. He throws his key through the grate to Nate, who combines the crosses to unlock another door. The team enters a Roman storehouse containing 3 enormous jars. At first, they think they've found the gold, but the jars are filled with salt. As they investigate, one of the jars collapses, revealing a hidden map. The map outlines a route from Spain to the East Indies. Before Nate can discuss the map's implications, Chloe pulls a gun and demands he hand it over. Nate tries to negotiate, but Chloe insists he doesn't know the full story about Sam. She knocks him out and escapes with the map. Moments later, Sully wakes Nate, who demands to know the truth about Sam. Sully admits that Sam didn't simply disappear, he's gone. Sully explains that when they found the captain's tomb and retrieved the journal, they were ambushed by Joey and her men. During the attack, Sam was shot. Sully escaped, leaving Sam behind. Nate accuses Sully of being greedy and selfish, realizing that Sully only recruited him to fill in the clues Sam might have known. Nate breaks off his partnership with Sully and leaves. Later, Sully finds Nate and tries to convince him to come back. Nate agrees, but only because he has been looking at the postcards from Sam and has decided to finish what his brother started. Meanwhile, Joey reports to Santiago about the recent events, only to discover that Chloe is also working for him. Since Chloe has been more successful, Santiago decides she will now lead the operation, which infuriates Joey. At Santiago's private airport, preparations are underway, including loading his prized red car. Nate and Sully take advantage of this by sneaking inside the car's trunk. After reviewing the map and deciding on their trajectory, Santiago gives a speech about restoring his family's honor after their betrayal. However, Joey interrupts by killing him. Chloe panics and tries to flee, but Joey and her men pursue her. During the chaos, Nate and Sully seize the opportunity to recover the map. Their plan is to steal parachutes and jump off the plane, but when they reach the cargo hold, Nate confronts Joey, demanding to know if she really killed Sam. As Sully jumps out with a parachute, Nate ends up in a fight with Joey's men. During the struggle, the cargo is pushed out of the plane, taking the story back to the opening sequence. Joey's men corner Chloe, and she engages them in a gunfight, making it impossible for her to escape by parachute. Instead, she gets inside the car and drives it off the plane. When Nate climbs back inside, Chloe pushes him out again but also grabs his hand, guiding him to one of the falling cargo boxes. They land safely in the middle of the sea after deploying the box's parachute. The duo drifts until the waves carry them to the Philippines, where they check into a hotel using Sully's credit card. Chloe prints a map replicating the real one, and with the help of Sam's postcards, Nate realizes the map doesn't reveal the treasure's exact location. Sully was right. Sam tried to leave Nate the final clue. Nate and Chloe spend the night trying to decipher Sam's messages. Chloe eventually grows tired and goes to bed, but Nate persists. His determination pays off when he realizes he hasn't used Sam's oldest trick. Since the lighter still doesn't work, Nate uses a candle to reveal a hidden message on a postcard instructing him to use the crosses as a compass. By following the instructions, Nate discovers the gold's location. He writes the coordinates on a piece of paper and finally goes to bed. The next morning, Chloe wakes up first, finds the note and decides to take it with her, leaving Nate behind. However, Nate anticipated her betrayal and purposely left fake coordinates on the note. When he wakes up alone, he isn't concerned. Nate takes a motorboat to the cave marked by the real coordinates, unaware that Joey is watching him. Inside the cave, Nate swims through an underwater tunnel and emerges in a hidden chamber where Magellan's ships have been concealed all these years. Exploring one of the ships, he finds the treasure. Sully arrives shortly after, having tracked Nate using the phone's GPS. He praises Nate, saying Sam would be proud of him. Before they can celebrate, Joey and her men arrive. Nate and Sully hide in a secret compartment while Joey's crew airlifts the ships out of the cave using helicopters. Once the ships are in the air, Nate and Sully emerge from their hiding spot, grabbing as much gold as they can, along with a dagger and a sword for defense. They fight Joey's crew, throwing them off the ship one by one. Sully climbs up the chains holding the ship and takes over one of the helicopters, pushing its crew out. Meanwhile, Joey, aboard the second ship, orders her pilot to pursue Sully. This causes the two ships to collide. Joey's men jump onto Nate's ship, leading to another fight. Nate defeats them and seizes their weapons, including a stash of gunpowder. Sully skillfully flies a helicopter through a tight gap between cliffs to escape, but Joey is waiting on the other side. To avoid a crash, Sully makes a daring move, but Joey keeps chasing them. Nate comes up with a bold idea. He uses gunpowder he found earlier, loads a cannonball into an old cannon, and struggles to light it with Sam's broken lighter. After a few tries, he fires the cannon at Joey's helicopter, causing it to burst into flames and crash into a hill. Joey jumps off just in time. Nate and Sully think they've won, but Joey climbs onto their ship and releases the anchor to stop them. The ship starts falling apart. Nate and Joey fight while Nate climbs toward the helicopter. Sully sees Joey chasing Nate and makes a tough choice. He throws his bag of gold at Joey, knocking her into the ocean. Sully then pulls Nate into the helicopter right before the ship collapses and crushes Joey. The ship floats briefly but starts sinking. Nate suggests diving for the treasure later, but Philippine naval forces arrive claiming the loot. As they fly away, Sully jokes about losing the gold, but Nate reveals he smuggled some in his pants. In a distant prison, Sam writes Nate a postcard, warning him to stay alert. Months later, Nate meets an agent who offers a Nazi map in exchange for Nate's ring. The agent tries to double-cross him, but Sully shows up, creating a distraction. Nate recovers the ring and map and they escape. However, someone stops them as they flee. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.